everybody, welcome to today's episode of For the Record. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shayla and I'm the creator of JunkDrawerMom. I believe that hiding is overrated, so on this channel we talk about everything motherhood from practical to personal. So if you're new here, consider subscribing before you go. So today is a For the Record video, which is just a little segment that I created to talk about the things that I've learned over the course of my week. However, I came across this article and I was like, this is like everything that I believe right in one article. So I just wanted to read it to you guys. It's just not enough to send you a link because like who clicks on links anymore, right? So I'm gonna read it. It's just, let me pull it up. The title of this is Self-Care is Not Enough to Fix How Much Moms Are Burnt Out. So this article is from Motherly. I will link it down in the description below just so that you guys can click on it, read it for yourself, meditate on it, you know, whatever it is that you like to do with links nowadays. So this is by Diana Spalding and it says, I sat in bed haphazardly staring at my phone, my thumb robotically scrolling through Instagram posts of moms clearly doing it better than I was. My back ached from my hunched posture, but adjusting my body felt like too much work. From down the hall, a little voice called out, "Mommy, I can't sleep." And all I could muster were the words, "Okay, babe." No solutions offered, no words of consolation, because I had run out of solutions and run out of consolations. Cautiously, my sweet husband asked, babe, are you doing okay? I considered this question. I ran through the mental load quietly yet oppressively pressing in on me, the ever-present worry, guilt, and stress. I thought of ways so many women I know answer that question. Not the "so great, how are you?" way we say a little too loudly to make it sound more believable. The real answers that we share when we feel like it's okay to be vulnerable. I'm running on fumes. I'm depleted. I don't even know. But I shouldn't complain. I am lucky in so many ways. I love being a mother and I love my life. So instead of laying it all out there, instead of addressing the vulnerable parts, I simply replied, "I'm fine, babe. Today was just hard." Okay, well, let's find some time this weekend for you to do something for yourself for a few hours. He's embraced my self-care is important for mom soapbox and tries as hard as he can to help me live it. But the truth is that self-care is not enough. And it's time that we stop telling moms that a simple act of self-care will undo the years of culture-induced overwhelm that is causing us all to burn out. There is no bubble bath that will hush the constant underlying buzz of anxiety. There's no girls' weekend away that will undo the isolation of a fourth trimester spent without a village. There is no nap that will revive the energy poured into balancing a career with motherhood. There is no glass of wine that will ease the accumulating effects of all the ailments we haven't had time to see a doctor about. Moms are burnt out and our society needs to start caring. Motherly's 2019 State of Motherhood survey found that 51% of moms feel discouraged when it comes to managing the stress of work and motherhood. About 1/3 of moms said that their mental and physical health is suffering, and 85% of moms said that our society does not do a good job of supporting mothers. 85%, y'all. Society is asking you to nurture in an environment that does not nurture you back. So darling mama, please hear me. You are not imagining your burnout, and your burnout is not your fault. You are burnout from the moment you announce your pregnancy or your plan to adopt. You were bombarded with unsolicited advice and stories about how awful your upcoming experience would be. That was me. You are burnout because you had to return to work before you were ready and then you were shamed for not breastfeeding your baby for long enough. You're burnout because you feel like you have to continually justify your decision to leave the paid workforce. You're burnt out because you eat leftover goldfish and sandwich crusts for lunch. You're burnt out because you're constantly juggling the pressure to spend ample time being truly present with your child with the pressure of having to clean and declutter a home. You're burnt out because you, after a day of a constant toddler touching, you feel like you should be fresh, sexy, and available for your partner. You're burnt out because the news is exhausting and defeating. You are burnt out because There's not a day that goes by without someone reminding you of the baby weight you still haven't lost, of that perfect body that you lost. You're burning out because you're constantly reading and hearing new advice about the best way to raise your child and balancing that with the contradictory ways your family and in-laws are telling you to do it. You're burnt out because no matter how many coupons you cut, how many vacations you don't take, you still can't find a way to dig yourself out of debt. You're burnt out because you know your child shouldn't watch another show on TV, but you just don't know how to make dinner happen without it. You're burnt out because your third babysitter in 2 months just gave their 2-week notice and the wait list for daycare is impossibly long. You are burnt out because you miss your friends. You're burnt out because you've poured from your cup for so long that you forgot how to tilt the cup upright and save some from yourself. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Mama, you're not doing it wrong. It's just that hard. And your burnout is not your fault. Now, some of the answers to these problems are obvious, but most are not. Because these are not problems you've created, these are manifestations of cultural shortcomings that leave moms hurting. Though it's not right or fair, it's up to us to fix the problem because it doesn't seem like anybody else is going to. It's not taking a bubble bath, and it's definitely not having an extra glass of wine at night. It's about being vulnerable. By saying that you refuse to buy into the notion of a perfect mother or a perfect wife. By being authentic, even when you are authentically burnt out. By being honest. If you haven't had a chance to watch Brené Brown's Netflix special, I cannot recommend it enough. Now, I haven't watched it yet, but I think I'm gonna see if I can find it. In it, she talks about how courageous it is to be vulnerable. In a 2013 interview with Forbes, Brown said, "Vulnerability is about showing up and being seen. It's tough to do that when we're terrified about what people might see or think, when we're fueled by the fear of what other people think or that gremlin that's constantly whispering, 'You're not good enough,' in our ear. It's tough to show up. We end up hustling for our worthiness rather than standing in it. But mama, what if you did stand in your worthiness? Even if your house is messy, even when your toddler is melting down in the grocery store, even when everything feels like it's falling apart. What if you stood among the mess and declared your worthiness by saying no, by asking for help, by stating what you need without apology, by holding space for other mothers to do the same? You might get ignored at first. You might get some side eyes. But by being vulnerable, by putting it all out there, owning your story, and supporting other mothers as they claim their worthiness, we start to make it better. Being vulnerable is incredibly uncomfortable. The good news is that no one on this planet is braver than a mother. Let your guard down. It won't be easy, not one bit, but your bravery will inspire another mom, and before you know it, we'll have a culture shift on our hands. And then we can really enjoy that bubble bath. Now, that was a long read. If you're still with me, thank you for still being here, but I just felt like that encompassed this entire channel, like to a T. My whole belief is hiding is overrated. We have to be vulnerable with one another and with the people around us because things will not change if we don't start talking about them, if we don't help one another as women. And so that is like my passion. I really love that article, and I just want you guys to know, burnout is not your fault. So take the blame off, stand in your worthiness. I love that phrase, stand in your worthiness. That's all I have for you guys today. Nothing of my own, but like I said, I just really love that article. If you agree or if you don't agree, let me know in the comment section below. I always love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, hiding is overrated. I'll see you next time.